Hi guys, Daniel from Fit5 Gym. Today I want to discuss this body fat machine, how to use it to your benefit. First, understanding where you're currently at. You have to check your weight in order to use this machine. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, okay? Once you turn it on, it's going to flash guest. That's fine, just hit set. Once you hit set, it's going to ask you if you're normal or athlete. With athletes, typically means is that you've been actively involved in weight training consistently. For me, usually if you're a new client or you do not have weight training experience, it means you haven't built up enough muscle to be considered in the athletic category. So athletic means like when you see those guys playing football or volleyball girls, things like that, they're lean, but they also weigh a lot more than someone who does not lift or someone who does not weight train. So once you have about 6 months of weight training experience consistently enough, I usually put that towards athlete. And then you'd hit normal if you're still new with us or you're on your weight loss journey, you'd put normal. Then you hit set again. And then it's gonna ask for your height. Everything's up and down. Make sure you put your height in, okay? Wherever your height is, you put it. Once you get there, you hit set. Make sure you use the same height. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I'm 6 foot, 6'1". Whatever height you pick, if it's the height that's on your driver's license, make sure you stick that all the way through because putting a discrepancy will change your body fat. And then put your total weight. So you check the scale, how much you weigh, put in your total weight, and then you hit set again. That's gonna ask for your age, up and down. Make sure you pick your age, hit set one more time. And then it's gonna ask if you're male or female. That's very important. Men and female are entirely different when it comes to body fat. Ladies, anything below 31% is considered an acceptable or healthy range for females once you're below 31. However, if you're a male and you're at 31%, you're considered obese or not healthy. So you want to make sure that you put male or female gender, hit select, and then it's going to prompt the word ready. Once you have the word ready in there, you're going to put your middle finger in the groove. Thumbs go on top. Make sure you have complete contact. There's no space with your palm. You're gonna have to be in a standing up position. You wrap your fingers all the way around and you extend straight out. You're gonna hit that green button start and you hold completely still. Firm grip, you don't have to squeeze it super hard, but nice and straight, nice and controlled. Make sure you're not touching anything. And usually takes a few seconds. It sends an electric signal through your body. The longer it takes to get back to you, the estimated higher body fat you have, the quicker it goes, the lower body fat you have. Now, I do want to remind you guys, this is a machine. What does that mean? It's the same thing as a scale. There is room for discrepancies, and you have to keep that in mind. So when you check your body fat, don't beat yourself up if you check it and you're 1 point higher or 1 point lower. It's good that you're losing body fat. This could be, what's that word I'm looking for? Basically, variances based on how much water retention you have. If you check before or after your workout, if you check your body fat post-workout, you're going to be a little bit lower because you've lost some water retention in your body. So you want to make sure that you check it before, that you always stick with checking it before. Hey, Alejandro, how's it going, man? Or if you check in afterwards, you always want to make sure that you're checking after all the time. If you check after, guys, please make sure you clean your hands, okay? And then check your body fat. I recommend checking it weekly. It gives you visibility. Again, keep in mind, don't freak out that if it's a little bit of a discrepancy, like if you're at 15% and you check next week and you're at 16, not all that's lost. You want to think of it as moving flagpoles. So basically, as you're on your weight loss journey, if you're, let's say, at 16% body fat and you're gradually losing body fat and you see your first 14% or you see your first 13%, you're never going to see that 16 anymore because the flagpoles are moving. But water retention, timing of the day, all that stuff plays a factor into what the reading is. But the important thing is that weekly you see it constantly going down. So that's pretty much the breakdown on how to use this machine. We always have this left out on the desk, guys. We're actually going to order more of them to have here. Make sure once you do it, I usually take a picture of it every time I check and I save it under my gallery. If you watched the last video a couple weeks back when I went into taking selfies, because you'll see changes in your body more so than you will on the scale, taking photos weekly and making sure you're checking your body fat weekly. Now, it is a process, guys. You're not going to see amazing results in 1 week, but you want to take it weekly to hold what I call a self-accountability check. And then every month, like once a month, you should see some forward progress. If not, you need to identify what you're doing, how many times you're working out a week, calories in, calories out. Make sure you reevaluate it. Talk to us. We're constantly here to support you guys. If you need help on nutrition, things like that, that's what this page is for. I'm going to do a 2-part video discussing what your minimum requirement for your calories are, and understanding creating a deficit through physical activity, and making sure you're not too far at a deficit where you're actually losing muscle. That's important as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Also, comment below. I'll get back to any answers that you may have. Any questions you may have, I'll answer them. All right, guys, tuning out. Take care. Bye.